The two main types of, I guess there's three types of lists. One are the built-in lists of POE of all the different floors. And so these are pre-populated lists with specific criteria. So we'll learn how to make our own specific criteria lists. The other type are personal lists. So these are things that everybody makes pretty intuitively. So you pick some patients and you save them, and people will say something like my list or my patients, whatever they want to call it. And so you have a new list name. So all of these types of lists have a asterisk by them, and they go at the bottom of your list. All of the lists that are made in a more criteria-based fashion are alphabetical. Okay, so we can look at the Osler 8 list. These tabs up here all give you options on how to modify lists and how to interact with the patients that you have on your current list. So if you want to modify this visit list, you can see it's set up as patients at selected locations only, which is Osler 8. No provider preference, no service preference, only admitted patients, no specific orders. Okay, so that's why that list exists, those criteria. So you want to make a new list, and this is crucial for making your service list for people who are on the O, and other services too. But basically you go to location, you want to include patients at selected locations, drop down this box, you want JHH inpatient, you're going to click add, so anybody in the inpatient arena. You leave providers blank, you leave service blank. This is a huge thing to avoid. People will click admitted, that's good. Orders. So you want a list selection filter, add new, because it is the best firm, the firm of choice. If you don't know that, you will. So Barker service right here. This is the actual order that's being filtered. So for example, if I wanted somebody who had a portable chest x-ray, I could filter everybody in the hospital who has a current order for a portable chest x-ray. If I was a radiology tech, I might want to do that, but I am not. So I want people who are on Barker. So I'll click Barker service, add that over, and now I have a filter for everybody who is patient in the DOM admission order set. One of the things you have to, or you're supposed to choose, is what service they're on. So this is how this order gets into the patient's chart. Okay, so now Barker is one of the options instead of all. So click on Barker. Expired information or something like that. So you click OK once you have all that stuff done. What name do you want to give your list? I could call it Barker. But the problem is it would be way up at the top of my list with the B's. So what I like to do is call it Z Barker, and this helps me organize my lists. So you don't have to do that part, but I think it's a good idea. So now I've got my list, Z Barker, and it is way down here at the bottom next to my manual lists. I can click over and show you on my actual POE. So I have this test patients thing that I made just to keep it down at the bottom. I have my manual lists, which some people will have dozens of these, and that's fine. I just like to keep it concise. So these lists have every patient I took care of as an intern, every patient that I had off of the O. And here are my other lists, and so they all have X's and Y's just to help me organize them. This is probably a little bit OCPD, but I think it's helpful. If you were to scroll up on my account, you could see all the other lists that I rarely have to use because I can just find everything I want down here at the bottom. So I can check on Janeway Census, see if they have any patients. They usually don't. There's Barker. So anyway, that's the essence of making lists. And you can see it populated these several patients that I went in and already placed the order. Let's go to their order actually and look. You can see these patients they're not real, they don't have a chart, but this is the one order that's being filtered. If for some reason you are looking at your patient list and there's people on there that shouldn't be. Like a better example would be a patient who is normally long cope, but they're being admitted to Barker because of geography issues or something. And they show up on the long cope list because the admitting intern didn't realize that they shouldn't have placed the long cope order. You can always delete these. You can just click on it and discontinue that order. And that's no problem. That no one will take offense to that. And then that patient will disappear from your list. You can see bradykinin is now gone. Same thing for the MICU. A lot of times patients go to the MICU and people will place the Barker service order just thinking to give them an identifier, but that messes up the people who are actually on Barker at the time. So I think it's perfectly okay to add or subtract those orders if people are showing up on your list that you don't want. The other thing I'll say about making lists is you can always change them. So I'm in my Z Barker list right now. You can always go to modify this specific list and you can change the name. You don't even have to click anything. You just click OK and it says, do you want to rename your list or do you want to change it? So I could take away that Z and just call it Barker. And now it asks me, do I want to make a new list or do I want to rename the old list? And so I'll do rename. And now you see I have the same list, but it's way up here, lost in the shuffle. And down at the bottom, Z Barker's gone. So this is helpful for me. I renamed all of the Zyad towers. These were all like Z-Bor 3, I bet you have on your list. I called it S, I just renamed it. I went to S Z-Bor 3. I guess it's OR. So it would not be at the bottom of my list. All you do for that is, I don't want to click on anything and show patient identifier stuff, but I'll give the example on this one. You would just pretend this is Z-Bor 3. You click on it, you click modify, you click OK, you change the name, you just put an S in front or whatever you want to do, hit OK, and then just hit rename. If you do new list, you'll have 2, so you just hit rename. And now there's no longer WGA3, it's up here with SWGA3. So that is making lists.